Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're jumping into, well, possibly the biggest inheritance contest ever imagined. We're talking James Halliday's $240 billion fortune, control of the OASIS, and just riddles everywhere.
It's a fascinating setup, really, because our sources paint this picture of stark contrasts. You've got this really grim 21st century Earth. Think global energy crisis, starvation, rising seas, people living in these vertical slums called the stacks.
Yeah, the Portland Avenue stacks, awful stuff, but then the escape hatch, the OASIS.
Right, the ontologically anthropocentric sensory immersive simulation, which sounds complex, but basically
Yeah.
it was a massive virtual reality, free to use.
And, crucially, better than reality for most people. It was their reality. So when Halliday, the genius co-creator, this kind of eccentric, isolated guy, when he died, he didn't just leave a will.
No, he dropped Anorak's invitation, a video message, Halliday's avatar, Anorak, laying it all out. He was obsessed, totally obsessed with the 1980s.
Almost religiously so.
Yeah. And he announced his entire fortune, plus control of his company, Gregarious Simulation Systems, GSS. It all goes to the first person to find an Easter egg hidden deep inside the OASIS.
But not just find it. You had to get 3 keys, unlock 3 gates first. And the rule book, it was basically Halliday's 80s soaked brain.
Exactly. You couldn't just be a good gamer. You had to, become Halliday's ideal 80s kid. Memorize Cosmos, quote, family ties, no Rush lyrics by heart.
It was cultural mimicry on a grand scale, not just knowing stuff, but internalizing this very specific, kind of isolated, nostalgic view.
Totally. It demanded this deep dive into obscurity. Forgotten arcade games, niche movie references. He built this, cognitive fortress around the prize. Only someone who really got his specific brand of nostalgia could even start.
Which brings us to Wade Watts, our protagonist. Avatar name, Parzival.
Your classic Gunter egg hunter, an orphan living in the stacks. Dirt poor in the real world, which meant he was poor in the OASIS too. Stuck on Ludus, the school planet.
Because he couldn't afford the travel credits to go anywhere else.
Right, exactly. Ludus was designed to be boring. No high-level quests, no real danger, just school. He was stuck at level 3 for ages. But that's the genius, or maybe the cruelty, of Halliday.
He put the first clue right there.
The clue was this limerick. Yeah, and Parzival has his breakthrough moment, not fighting dragons, but in Latin class.
Okay.
He figures out the line, "You have much to learn if you hope to earn a place among the high scorers." It wasn't just generic advice. It meant Ludus, the students.
So it pointed him somewhere on Ludus.
Precisely. To the Tomb of Horrors, which, for D&D players, is legendary.
A classic, super deadly module.
Right. Hidden is this skull-shaped hill in a forest nobody bothered exploring on Ludus. When Parzival gets inside, it's not the usual D&D trap fest. He meets the Lich, a Serac.
The big bad of the tomb.
Yep. But instead of a fight, Serac challenges him to joust.
The old arcade game with the ostriches.
Yeah, very same.
Yeah.
1982 classic. It speaks volumes about Halliday, doesn't it? His obsession with mastering old, unforgiving tech.
So Parzival plays joust against the Lich.
And he wins, which is key. He gets the copper key, sure, but also, bam, 50,000 experience points.
Whoa. What level did that put him at?
10th level,
Oh,
instantly. From level 3, it completely upended the power dynamic in the hunt overnight.
And put his name on the scoreboard. First one.
First one, which immediately gets him noticed. Not just by everyone, but specifically by Art Threemis, a top Gunter, huge blogger, already famous in the OASIS.
And she confronts him right away.
Pretty much. And she tells him something interesting. She'd been trying to get the key too, but she kept losing at jousts.
So if you lose the game.
He needs to fight Serac the hard way, which she'd done multiple times and failed.
Yeah.
Parzival winning the game was the shortcut.
Clever. So Halliday rewarded game skill over brute force combat there.
Seems like it. Art Threemis figures it out quickly after Parzival gets her key, and boom, the top 2 contenders are established.
But that's success. It lights a fire under the bad guys, too.
Oh, yeah. Suddenly, this isn't just a bunch of Gunters looking for an egg. It's a corporate war.
Let's talk about them. IOI. Innovative Online Industries.
The corporate machine. Their goal was simple. Win the hunt, take over GSS, and basically turn the OASIS into a giant, ad-filled, subscription-based nightmare.
End anonymity, free speech, all the stuff that made the OASIS, well, the OASIS.
Exactly. They had this army of employees, indentured servants really, called Sixers. Their avatars weren't even names, just IOI employee numbers, like IOI 655321.
Soulless. The complete opposite of Halliday's, maybe flawed, but still utopian ideal.
Totally. And they played dirty. Really dirty. Once the copper key was found, the race for the jade key was on.
And the riddle for that one was, the captain conceals the jade key in a dwelling long neglected, but you can only blow the whistle once the trophies are all collected.
Another Halliday special.
Mhm.
Layers of meaning. Parzival figures the captain isn't like a ship captain.
Yeah.
No, it's Captain Crunch, the cereal.
Okay, connecting cereal to a multi-billion-dollar he. How?
Through hacking history.
Yeah.
Captain Crunch connects to John Draper, a.k.a. Captain Crunch, a famous early hacker, a phreaker. He used a toy whistle found in Captain Crunch boxes.
The 2600 hertz whistle to make free phone calls.
You got it. A deep cut into Rebel Tech history. So the key was disguised as one of those plastic whistles.
Where was it hidden?
Inside a box of Captain Crunch. In a virtual kitchen cupboard on the planet.
Frobos.
Frobos, one of the Zork worlds, right?
Exactly. Which leads to the second gate. Finding the whistle key was just step one. The gate itself was Zork.
The classic text adventure. Wow.
Oh, and not just play it. You had to get a perfect score. Collect all 19 treasures and put them in the trophy case, which is notoriously hard.
So while Parzival is wrestling with Zork's parser,
Things get real. Very real. IOI figures out who he is in the real world. Wade Watts, living in the stacks.
oh no.
Yeah, they bomb his stack, his home. Try to kill him.
Geez, so this jumps from virtual contest to real-world assassination attempt.
Absolutely. The stakes just went vertical. Wade is now homeless, hunted, completely alone.
What does he do?
Something drastic. He fakes his identity, creates his persona Bryce Lynch, and gets himself indentured to IOI.
He goes inside the evil corporation. Voluntarily. Well, forcibly indentured. But yeah, he lets it happen. Goes undercover as a tech support drone. IOI employee, #338645, logs in from inside their headquarters every day.
That's incredibly risky. Suicidal almost.
Hugely risky. But he uses that access. He hacks into their internal network, specifically the Oology division. That's their egg hunting department.
And what does he find?
A lot. Tactical plans, info on the Sixers,
Mhm.
but also something personal. He finds Artemis's real-world file. Her name, Samantha Evelyn Cook.
Okay.
And he finds out about her facial birthmark. Something she's deeply insecure about, something she hides completely in the OASIS. She'd even misled him about her appearance.
Wow. So that hack didn't just give him intel, it kind of shattered the illusion of the avatar for him, didn't it? Forced him to see the real person.
Exactly. Long before they ever met face-to-face. It adds this whole layer to their relationship and sets up Halliday's final point, really.
Which takes us towards the endgame. The crystal key.
The last key. The riddle is super short. Continue your quest by taking the test. Very. But the clue came from the Jade Key's wrapper. Parzival smooths it out, and it folds itself into an origami unicorn.
Blade Runner.
Bingo. So the test wasn't a school exam. It was the Voight-Kampff machine, the empathy test for the movie.
Of course. And passing that test led to the third gate.
Yep, which is another retro game, Black Tiger.
Man, Halliday really loved his arcade classic.
I really did. But here's the big twist. The final gate, the crystal gate itself. It needed 3 crystal keys to open it.
3. But each gunter only found one key path.
Exactly. Halliday designed it so no single person could win alone. Parzival, Artemis, and their friend Shoto, because Dato, Shoto's partner, had been killed by IOI in the real world.
Awful. Another real-world consequence.
Right. So the remaining core players, the High Five as they became known, minus Dato,
Yeah.
they had to cooperate. They had to pool their keys.
So the guy who built the contest based on his own isolation forces collaboration at the very end.
That's the paradox, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isolation gets you in the door, but community gets you the prize. And speaking of help, Ogden Morrow shows up.
Halliday's old partner. The guy who left GSS.
The same. Turns out he and Halliday had reconciled quietly before Halliday died. Og starts helping the Gunters in the real world, getting them safe houses, transport, away from IOI.
Okay, so real-world backup too.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Parzival's hack data?
He uses it, organizes all the independent Gunter clans, tells them IOI's plans for the final battle location, Castle Anorak on the planet Cothonia. It becomes this massive call to arms.
A huge digital war for the fate of the Oasis.
Absolutely massive. IOI has their Sixer army barricading the castle, and Parzival leads the charge. He finds this incredible artifact.
What was it?
Something that lets him summon a giant robot by shouting its name.
Lumberton.
Lumberton.
Sounds familiar.
It's from the Japanese live-action Spider-Man TV show from the 70s. Marvel licensed it. It was kind of forgotten.
Yeah.
Another insanely deep cut from Halliday.
No, so Parzival summons this giant, obscure Japanese robot.
And pilots it against the Sixers' ultimate weapon, which turns out to be Mechagodzilla.
Lalapardon versus Mechagodzilla.
Totally. But even with his huge army and the giant robot fight, IOI has one last dirty trick. Sorrento, the main IOI villain, he activates something called the Cataclysm.
The Cataclysm? What's that?
Basically a magic nuke for the OASIS. A bomb artifact Halliday apparently put in the game. Sorrento sets it off. It wipes the entire sector, every avatar. Vaporized. Arthremus, H, Shoto, all the Gunter clans, all the Sixers. Gone. Silence.
Wait, Halliday put a weapon like that in his own game. Why?
That's a huge question the sources raise. Maybe a warning about absolute power, even virtual power. Sorrento certainly proved that point. It was a total kill switch.
So, everyone's gone. IOI wins by default.
Everyone, except Parzival.
How?
Remember that joust game way back? And other challenges? Parzival found an extra life token earlier, a quarter he got from playing a perfect game of Pac-Man, a classic arcade mechanic. It saved him.
An extra life. Wow, so he's the only one left standing.
Alone over this massive crater where the battle was.
Yeah.
And the third gate is right there.
What does he have to do for the final gate?
Two things. First, beat the high score on Tempest, another arcade classic known for having a bug that could give infinite credits.
Exploit the bug, got it.
And second, flawlessly reenact the entire movie Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Yeah.
Word for word, action for action.
Okay, that's just perfectly surreal and Halliday-esque.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
He does it, wins, and finally enters Halliday's hidden inner sanctum, his office.
And Halliday's avatar is there?
Yes, but not Anorak the Wizard, just Halliday the awkward creator. And he gives Parzival the final prize, the Easter egg itself. Tiny, a single gray pixel.
A pixel, that's the $240 billion prize.
It represents the key.
Yeah.
But it's the first ever video game Easter egg for the Atari game adventure hidden by programmer Warren Robinett.
Ah, the origin of the whole concept.
Exactly. But before Halliday's avatar disappears, he gives Parzival one last message. He says he actually regretted creating the OASIS.
Regretted it.
Yeah, because it let him hide from reality, from real connections. He tells Parzival basically, reality is the only place you can find true happiness. Then he vanishes.
Wow. So the creator of the ultimate virtual escape warns against escaping too much.
That's the final twist. Parzival wins the fortune, wins control of GSS. But the lesson is about the real world.
And he takes it to heart.
Immediately. First thing he does is split the prize money with Arthremus, Each, and Shoto, like he promised.
Yeah.
And then he meets them in person.
The big reveal.
Yeah. And Samantha, Arthremus, she's worried about her birthmark. But Wade, Parzival, he doesn't care. He already knew, thanks to the hack, but more importantly, he connected with her, the person.
And Each, his best friend in the OASIS.
Each turns out to be a girl named Marie. African-American, heavyset, completely different from the Avatar. Again, Wade accepts her completely. Their friendship was real, regardless of the Avatar.
So they broke down those virtual walls.
Exactly. The very thing Halliday seemed unable to do himself. The whole contest forced Parzival through Halliday's own obsessions, his isolation.
But made him choose connection at the end to win.
Right. Which raises that final kind of haunting question. If Halliday really believed reality was the only place for happiness, why build this incredible virtual world? And why make the exit door, the final lesson, accessible only through this incredibly niche, isolating contest?
Was the lesson just for the winner? Or was the whole thing a massive, complicated message to everyone?
It's hard to say. He builds this universe, rewards mastery of the virtual and the nostalgic, and then says, go live in the real world.
And the ultimate prize, that tiny gray dot from adventure, was the point finding the egg itself? Or was it everything that happened along the way? The community, the fight, the cooperation?
Maybe the value wasn't the destination, the egg, but the journey. The connections forged despite the isolation Halliday built into the quest.
Something to definitely think about. What was the real treasure Halliday left behind? We'll leave you to ponder that one.